So, hi guys, and welcome back. So, a long time no see for the budget review. Basically took a couple weeks off. We had the whole surgery and whatnot. And I mean, like I said, I think I'm gonna start cutting these down into like maybe two of them, like one at the end of the month, one mid-month. So again, I'm using the Hemlock and Oak weekly planner this year for my budget planning. They have this whole like value section and that up front, but again, we're just doing a review. So if you really want to see like the full part of this planner, I highly recommend checking out the setup videos and that I did earlier on this year. Again, we're focusing on our main goal for the first half of the year, which is keeping the store cards at 0. These are the ones that I rolled into 2025 with. We're getting very close to getting these two paid off and out of the way, which I really want to do by the end of June, just so that, we could come up with a new goal for the end of the year. I think that would be really neat to do. What that goal would be, probably like getting all of the accounts on 0% or like a lower interest, but I mean, you can see they give you a lot of goal setting areas, so I mean, you're really not going to run out. Um, okay, so I almost lost my breath there. So they move into this habit cultivation area. Again, with this being a budget planner, the main habit that I have is to save $5 a day. It's the fastest way that I've had to put money back, and for some reason, I will not touch the savings. Any other savings, like if you've been watching for a while, you know I take $50 out of each pay. I call it my stash. Basically, it's my fun money. Um, I will use it. It's gonna happen, but for some reason, whenever I put the $5 back for each day into this account, I don't touch it. So I don't understand the actual psychology behind that, but this is what I do, and it's been working for me, and it's a nice way of getting 1,800 for the year, and then I just roll it over and turn it into an emergency fund for the following year. So that's the habit I got. Again, they had this daily framework page. It just really helps you set up and focus when the best times during the day to do things are. The whole self-care activities. I really enjoyed learning that the more that I focus on doing self-care, the less I spend. Those are two things that I wouldn't have put together. So that's basically what I've learned. Okay, so quick introduction there. And moving on to the actual guts of the budgeting. So they give you this 2 years at a glance page. What I like to do with this is where I keep track of how long it takes me to pay off each of the accounts and the projected payoff dates. So this probably makes a little bit more sense when you see what we're working with here. So these are the accounts that I rolled into 2025 with. I just list them from the least amount to the greatest amount, and then of course the actual total. If I do get one of them paid off, I just mark it off over here. If any big transfers or anything happens, I just keep like a side note down in this area so we could see like Discover got transferred. I got a 0% offer, so it got transferred over. We had to open up a care credit for all the dentist stuff, which actually didn't turn out to be a lot. I thought it was going to be like $5,000. So far it's $200, so not that bad. The other down one for this year is my Perks card, which I used to get free gas with. They switched it. They pretty much, I don't know, it was like an agreement between them and Giant Eagle, and it ran out. And so it is no longer a Perks card. So we've quit using it. Okay, so, and then I did my own Detris this year. I've been using the printables, which I believe I still have it linked down in the description down below. Um, Heidi makes these wonderful budget-friendly coloring sheets, and I was using Detrus for God, like 3 years, and it's fun, and it makes paying off the debts a lot more enjoyable. And this year I just decided, you know what, I want to see what my actual total is. And granted, it's not perfect. It's 15,300. That's 15,354. But, 5 blocks, guys. Each block's $10. And this has just been a lot easier to keep track of what I'm actually paying. And we can see I still got a long ways to go. I am nowhere near where I thought that I would be like right around this line by this time, and I am not even close. But that also tells me that I need to pick up the pace. So that's where these accounts that we're seeing, that's where they're coming from. And then, like I said, these are the projected payoff dates. And so we're getting very close to PSCCU. We've been working on PSCCU since March, and I really want that paid off by the end of June. But we can see like it's not projected to be paid off until the end of July. But I always like to be a couple weeks early, and then we can get moving on to City DC, right? So that's that's what we got going on there. Again, the year at a glance page, this is where I put those things that happen like once a year. So that's birthdays, holidays, the vehicle things, so like car inspections, registration of plates, driver's license renewals, large amounts of money in and out, so that would be paying taxes, and then the insurance funds. And again, this year I started adding all the doctors and dentists, because you can see those are in the blue. They were just, there was just so many of them. It just wasn't the one doctor's visit that we're used to. It just pretty much steamrolled. What else do I got? Okay, so normally for the previous years, I would only mark if I got the Focus account paid off. So far this year, it would have just been the Perks card. And we can see him right there. None of these other things marked in red would be on here. So what I wanted to do this year is I wanted to track all of the large payoffs. So if you remember back in that goals area, I'm sorry guys, I'm having a difficult time keeping my breath today. It must be the humidity. So every time that I paid one of these accounts off, I marked it on here. And this was to help with my motivation, just because, like I said, we would only see this one marked. And I'd be like, why did it take so long to pay that card off? Now I know. Because, I was paying off the little mini dumpster. I was paying off the carpet scrubber. I bought a new dryer. Paid off the cabinet, so it's not just the one main account. So I don't know, I really like this setup. It really does help you keep track and see like the big picture. We can see that the credit score it's at like a 711 or a 712 now, so all of a sudden that thing just like boomed back up. I'm still trying to figure out what affects the credit score. Normally whenever I feel like things are going bad and are getting chaotic, my score improves. When I'm paying stuff off and I feel like we're making good progress, the score goes down. So I'm still trying to understand how they calculate that thing. It's still a mystery after 5 years of doing this. Got birds' hairs everywhere. Okay, so moving on to the quarterly pages. What I decided to do with this is I've listed the Focus account, so like the main account where I'm pumping all the funds into. So I've listed that up here, and I always start with the balance. We'll just start with PSCCU, because the whole My Perks thing, which I was using the card while I was paying it off, so it's a little bit more trickier, so that's what's going on with the math over here. But PSCCU is a little bit more cleaner here. So I always start with what the balance is at the beginning of the month, if I've made any payments to it, and then I do the estimate balance of what it is. And then the first of every month, I list off all of the accounts that we saw in the back of the book. This way, I can keep track and make sure that the numbers are going down because, again, we're paying off debt. So we want the numbers to go down. You never want to see them get higher for the next month. Granted, I did use F and BO, so yeah, that's why we see a balance there. But let's see here. Discover was the one which I'm really glad that I decided to do this because I probably wouldn't have caught this. So we can see that Discover was the 41.29, and then in March 1st, whenever I wrote down the number, it was 41.60, and I was like, what do you mean, like how did that get higher? And it's like, the interest. So this little tracking right here is really helping me keep track of if the interest is accumulating faster than what I can pay. So this instantly got transferred to a 0% account, and we can see it's starting to go down now. So you never want to see those amounts go up, and because I mean, really, you're never gonna pay it off. it'll never happen. You'll just keep paying and paying and paying. But yeah, we're at 695 right now. I know I can probably put another 200 on there comfortably by the end of next week, which would get me to 495. And that's where I have to ask myself, because remember, I want to pay this account off by the end of June. And that's where I got to figure out, like, where can I get the extra 400 from. But I think I can. I think I know a way. So that's what I'm looking forward to, towards the end of June there. And again, this is just a fun little seasonal page. It's so that I can keep track of like the items that I only purchase seasonally. So like the snow removal costs, sweaters and jeans, Ray's birthday, paying taxes, Bill's birthday, things like that. And then this way, whenever I go to set up my budget planner next year, I kind of got an idea of what I spend on these items, and then that way, instead of just putting money back, which granted we do all have like the emergency savings, and it's nice to have that. But at the same time, I've noticed that if I label the savings account, like this is the money for Easter dinner, this is the money for Bill's birthday, I'm less likely to spend out of that savings. Because I pretty much know, like, oh no, can't touch that. That's for Bill's birthday. I'm gonna need that for Bill's birthday. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this. Is I'm gonna create like little mini savings things in my YNAB app, and it's gonna, help me move on and make better money choices. So I'm trying to figure out. I believe yes. Okay, so got stitches in this day. So this is where we left off the last time, and again I am going to take a quick break just to get a sip of water, just to relax my voice. But after that, we'll be right back to discuss what happened at the end of May, and then how we moved into the month of June. Alrighty, so I think this is where we would have left off, because I feel like this is the last one that we discussed. Again, I was just trying to tell myself, like, reduce the spending, keep working on paying off the charges, just, keep focusing on the me time and paying debts off. And, so that brought us on to this week. And I knew that I was going to be getting stitches. I needed a cyst removed. I had no idea how deep the cyst was. So, basically, this turned into like a week of chaos. Again, this shows you like the value of the me time, because like I said, whenever I'm working on reading and spending time with Bird, journaling, playing around on Procreate, creating, making things, painting. I am away from the phone. I am not doom scrolling. I am not like randomly purchasing things. And, I'm normally not out and about shopping. And so this really shows like there was absolutely no me time on this Monday. And this is what it turned into. So that's the first real day where I've had where it was like it just went crazy. I really think it was just because I was anxious of what was going to happen on Tuesday, which that was the doctor's appointment, which it was not pretty at all. But I am thankful that I have really good insurance, so far nothing major there. And that's when I learned that I'm not allowed to go back to work until the medical restrictions clear. But again, thankfully, I do get paid time off to, heal and recuperate. So it's not all a loss. It was just the fact that, we had to keep doing emails and calls and going back to the doctor, and we had to get more clearer restrictions to see, what I can and can't do. Yeah, it was just completely mayhem. So yeah, definitely in pain on Tuesday, just mentally overwhelmed with everything on Wednesday. Thursday, completely confused because I was like, okay, well, I'll just take off this week. And it just turned into like we're just going to take it one step at a time. So, the original agreement was as long as I had stitches, I could not return to work. My work does involve heavy lifting, so it was probably a good choice. So, that's where I was like, okay, so basically, because it just kept going back and forth. It was like playing ping pong. So one moment, the doctor's excuse was like, okay, yeah, I can return to work, but I was gonna have light duty, and then the next moment it's like, no, no, you can't. And they were like picking it like 1 hour before the shift started, so it was like, do I work today or not? Like that's all I want to know, because if not, I'm gonna go home and put on the jammy pants and just relax. And so yeah, it was like, well, somebody over here, please make up your minds. That was the like worst part of all of it. So by Friday, it became pretty much clear that's where they decided, like, if you still have stitches, you are not coming back. And I was like, cool, because, it's paid time off. So, heck yeah, man, I get a vacation. I kind of wish I would have known that, on Tuesday. This would have been a better week. So, yeah, so basically, I spent this week just creating. I made all of my 4th of July stickers on this week, so it was nice. It was just nice to actually just think about creating and relaxing, and everything was freaking wonderful. Not the week that I planned for, but it turned out to be great. Again, we switched over to Discover because we found out that the perks card is no longer the perks card. They give you different bonus points now, and it's not worth it. So yeah, we have the May review. There was a lot of extra spending. Mainly a lot of it comes off of this day. So again, the importance of taking self-care, me time, really does help the budget, guys. So yeah, this is me just giving myself a rant. Just, like, we don't want this, because the more I have to pay on this, that means the, less blocks that I get to pay on the whole detritus thing that we got in the back. So, again, I had a lot of extra time, guys, because I've been off work. So, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a whole theme for June. Instead of switching things out every week, we're just going to do, like, one whole theme. And I figured, you know what? We're just going to go with, the balance book. Because I apparently do need to learn how to, you know, keep balance in the life. And it's kind of funny because I'm thinking like bank balance too, since it is the budget planner. So so that's why I said, like, the boundaries are, the end of last month was just stressful, which we saw. So I'm gonna find balance in my day-to-day activities, and basically, like, I feel like if I could just find balance in the day-to-day, then that will help my bank balance as well. Because we saw it exploded. It just completely exploded on that week. So I wasn't able to stay occupied long enough to not purchase things. Now, some of this, like the shower head, I did have to get because the stitches are on the back. Again, I apologize, guys. My voice does not like these. Um, so yeah, with the stitches being like right between the shoulder blades, I had to shower with basically a garbage bag tied around my neck. So yeah, I had to get one of those like little handheld shower things to take a shower. So yeah, we had that. Let's see here. The self-care activities I picked was find new ways to work out because again, I do have the weight restrictions. Nothing over 15 pounds, which sucks. um, Escape the daily drama with painting. So yeah, painting is very therapeutic. I love it. I get like the little paint by numbers. They're freaking awesome. I love them. Let's see here. The ones I go to now are the Number Artist, I believe, and they just have a really cool supply. So yeah, that's the paintings that I've been digging into. And of course, find time to read every day to clear the mind. I'm on like 600 days straight, and it's just a nice little 30 minutes just to mentally escape everything. Again, we are not spending when we're doing these things. Okay, so the intentions that I have for the month or the milestones that I'm focusing on, definitely the Amazon account, and that's going back to the goals page that we have here. Yeah, I need to get all of these. I want all of these things paid off by the end of this month. So I always just list one, and I'm somebody who like where if I just see that there's one more, I'll get rid of it. Don't ask me how. I just move the money around and I figure it out. So yeah, the Amazon account gotta go by the end of this month, and of course the tans and planners that I've had on the other accounts, which we could see that the tans got paid off during these last 2 weeks that I haven't been here. So yeah, those are paid, and I only got 40 more left on the planners. So again, just trying to focus on getting these things knocked off while also focusing on that other focus card. But again, that goes back to this is why is this one of my main goals instead of focusing on the major credit cards is having balances on these accounts takes away funds that could be used to pay down my debts because every single one of these is $10. That is so much that I probably could have paid off like three of those accounts by now if I wouldn't be paying on this type of stuff. So that's what I really like how I visualized the payoff trackers for each month because it really is starting to dig that home. Okay, so yeah, we have the monthly set up here, and again, I just list all of the bills, all of them, the savings accounts, the bills, the store credit cards, and the loans. I do color code them, and even if it is an account that I know carries a $0 balance, I still list it on here, like the CapQ account. There hasn't been a balance on that thing for who God knows how long, but I still list it. One, just because it is nice just to check something off and just be like, yeah, you don't got to worry about that. But the other reason being is it's just a friendly reminder for me to look at this account every month and to make sure that there is nothing on it. Because, I mean, you never know. Somebody might get your information and use your card. So it's just a nice little way of, me keeping track of everybody and making sure that everybody's paid. So, yeah, and then I list, that's that $5 savings. So, we got 30 days times 5, that gets you 150. So I just split it between the two paydays. And of course, I keep track of all of the store account balances there. Okay, and then this is last week. So again, guys, I'm sorry. I know this is longer than normal, but like I said, instead of coming on here weekly, I think I'm just gonna start doing these, twice a month. But yeah, so last month again, no work. I got to stay at home, and we can see it's a lot better mood. Until we gotta get back into trying to figure out if I go back to work or not. So that's me getting annoyed with management because it's like it just tell me yes or no. Like that's all I want to know. Do I go to work? Do I not? Okay. I can keep this paid vacation rolling permanently. I love it. But, it just would be nice. Do I go or not? Okay. Let me mentally prepare to return to work. So, yeah, so we can see like there's actually not a lot of spending going on with me staying in the house because you're really not going nowhere. The hardest part is keeping myself off of the phone and buying stuff. But yeah. So basically, what do we have? We have two of them where I've actually spent. Of course, I had to get groceries. I am home, so I'm eating at home now. I did have to get because again, guys, remember like with the whole shower thing, um, I couldn't get the back wet, so I did have to get an electrical trimmer. I couldn't. It was too difficult. It was too difficult to try to shave. Okay, and then of course Michael's had a really good sale on cricket mats. I do need that for the business, so and I had a gift card anyway, so I just went ahead and did that. I did have to go out. I did get a free doctor day, so yeah, I got 30 gallons of gas for free, and the free doctor's visit. So heck yes, that is a good day. Very anxious though because I wasn't quite sure. It hurt really bad getting the stitches in. I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be like to get them removed. Actually, not that bad. So, Friday turned out to be a great day. Um, Saturday, though, annoyed because I called, trying to figure out if I'm supposed to go back to work for the following week on Friday. Of course, no one responds. Try calling again on Saturday, still nothing. By Sunday, I finally got a response. Finally. So, yeah, that's where I found out, like, hey, I'm off for another week again. It means more time to read and create. And I finished up that 4th of July collection that I was working on the previous month. And so, like I said, it's a lot of creating, painting, napping, literally living the dream, guys. So that gets us into this week. Finally, we're getting caught up here. And, that's why I was like, you know what? Health is wealth, right? Because, that's if you're going to put money into anything, it better be yourself and your body. So with all this extra time to relax in it, uh, like I don't feel rushed. I can literally bounce around from one activity to the next, and I don't feel guilty about it. So if I want to read, I'll read. If I want to work out, I'll work out. If I want to paint, I do. There's no rushing involved. It's nice. Like I'm actually getting a summer vacation, which is something I haven't had for over 15 years. So, we can see I made that payment to PSECU. I have gotten into body scrubs. This is the week where I was actually allowed to start getting like full showers now. So yeah, I've tried body scrubs. They're freaking phenomenal. It's that Frank's Coffee body scrub. It is messy, but the new shower head really does help with this because it helps me clean up all the coffee mess in the shower now. But it is so nice. But yeah, I got into like self pampering. Okay, so I'm doing like these body scrubs. Of course, I have to, which I did start tanning again today, but I had to start doing the self tanner earlier in the week. Let's see here. I made a payment to the dentist, and it is kind of funny because this is where the insurance funds start coming in. I just pretty much put those back and use those for rent. Let's see what else. A lot of groceries though. I am spending a lot in groceries since I'm home, so maybe I do got to go back to work. Maybe I'll save more money if I go back to work. Um, strength is definitely improving, so this is nice. And like we say, the sticker says right here, today is hard, um, because the mini vacation is finally over, guys. I do return to work tomorrow. Granted, it's still at like a limited ability, but you know, we do go back. So that's it. We can see that I do have some of the stuff set up for next week. I've already started with some of the bills and credit card payments, which we can see back here. So that's that pinky color, salmon color. So this is the payments that I've made in June, and like I said, like I really want to get these two full bars, just get those completed for June. Um, I really think I'm gonna start picking up on this because I mean, it's difficult because we got all of this crap going on, but at the same time, we got to start jumping on this. It's we're almost to July. July is the middle of the year. I definitely need more progress than this, so that's it. That's what's been going on while I haven't been filming. In one way, I'm sorry, but then in another way, guys, I really enjoyed the break I did. It was nice. So, I'm gonna say I think that's it. I think that's all that we have to discuss here. And like I said, the main goal now is trying to figure out where can I steal funds from to get this thing, because I want this eliminated by the end of this month. I do, and I think I can do it. So where there's a will, there's a way. And with that, I'm gonna close out. And just again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. You really do help me stay accountable. And if you like this budget review, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to see more budget reviews.